I want to say I'm very thankful for my growing American fan base. I'm really glad that the show is reaching all over. Stay tuned to this episode. Welcome to the DO Boxing Show. I'm your host, Dameon Okposio, and thanks for tuning into this episode. We're going to be talking about promotion and how to promote yourself as an athlete. So I recently got an email from a young man named Stevie Jordan out of Baltimore, Maryland. And I just want to say, first of all, thanks for sending the email. I appreciate the communication. A whole lot of respect to you, Stevie Jordan. And he was just asking about promotion. Stevie has done some things, and he's an up-and-coming young man and fighter. And just wanted to know, in terms of how can he improve on some of the stuff that he's doing so far. So I don't know too many specifics about what you've done, Stevie, but one of the things I've said in the past that I still believe is tried and true to this day is fighters need to have a business card, and I'll elaborate more on that in this episode. So you're going to be traveling all the time, going different places, whether you're going to eat at a restaurant or whether you're traveling across the country to go and see family. You want to have something that you can always leave with someone after you've engaged them in conversation, or they may ask you a question about something. Part of marketing is there has to be a follow-up plan. Yes, you want to put something out there and let people know what you're doing. Yes, you want to get notoriety and put your name out there, even if you're just beginning and you're at the starting stages. But part of that plan is people have to be able to follow up with you. And if you don't necessarily have a contact information for them, then you have to be able to leave your contact information because you never know where the opportunity is going to come from. And the easiest way to do that is to already have a pre-made business card. So you could do something as simple as, a white card, putting your name, email, and telephone number on it, and that you could produce in your house and just cut them to fit. If you want to be elaborate, one of the things I really like is I produce a lot of kind of cards, small cards, and on it's like a I guess like a postcard, if you will, and on that you could put pictures of yourself or pictures from a fight, or you could put your stats on there. Web channel that they can go to, and you can list more things that people can look at. In this day and age, people are very visual, and it's always good if you have some sort of an online resume, whether it's a website, Facebook page. You want to be directing people to those. You're putting a lot of work into them. You're putting a lot of work into Facebook. Don't assume that people are going to automatically be able to see it, because number one, a lot of people have common names. If you have common names, it's going to be difficult for somebody to look you up on Facebook. So it's better if you just put the URL, then they can go directly to that. Number two, not everybody's on Facebook. So if they're not already on Facebook, people can still search offline. But again, it brings them to that. If you have a web page, if the web page isn't your name and it's called something else, it's highly unlikely that the person is going to be able to find it. And even with Google searches, even if you're online, your name might not come up right away. Or again, if there's a lot of people that have a similar name and they've done things to push themselves at the front of the search, they may never get to you in terms of finding you. So it's always good to have some sort of either a business card, postcard, something documentable that you can pass on to someone So you have a quick conversation, you can pass it to them. You meet someone, you think that they might be able to provide you with a great opportunity. You can pass it, and you can even give a card like to your friend, because your friend might have a contact. That's where it's really good, because you might not catch everything. So if you have something hard like a business card, you can give your business card to your family members or your friends and say, hey, if you see somebody that has some potential, might be a good person for me to be on a team with or work with, then they can give it to them. Lastly, because there's so many things that we can touch on. The second thing I'm going to touch on is putting a team together. So having a proper team is really important, because when it comes to promotion and gathering resources, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. If you've got a great worker or somebody that has some business skills or business savvy, 1 + 1 can equal 100 in terms of the sponsorship and exposure that they can bring to you. So when it comes to building a team, again, a team, there's no limits on it, but don't be in a hurry to fill positions just because you want to fill positions. It can be just as bad or detrimental to put a bad person on your team as it is on the opposite end to have a good person on your team. So you don't want to hold yourself back. You don't want to put someone on that's going to be working against you or working just in their own interest. You want proper team members. You want people that care. You want people that are going to work with you. You want somebody that you can listen to and trust, and that's going to take into account what you're saying as well. So remember, a team works in the interest of a team. If somebody's working in the interest of just themselves, that's not a team member. So you want to build a good team, but you don't want to fill positions too quickly or fill positions just for the sake of filling them. So those are two things I'll leave you with, Stevie. For now, don't forget, you can always write in and ask something more specific in terms of exposure or promoting or branding or management, and feel free to ask as many questions as you want. And for the rest of you, remember, you can always ask me any questions related to boxing by sending us a message through Twitter at DOKPOSIO, through email, okposio@hotmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe through YouTube by going to YouTube, going to Dameon Okposio, so you can get every episode of the DO Boxing Show. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Hopefully it was helpful, and we'll catch you on the next one.